We are in Ezra chapter 8. In the last chapter, we finally encountered Ezra, the priest and scribe who, by the decree of the king, was going up from Babylon to Jerusalem. Ezra recognized that the hand of God was upon him and he had much favor from the king for this journey. In particular, everything he needed for the house of his God. At the end of chapter 7, he had gathered leading men to go up with him to Jerusalem. Let's see what happens next. I'm in Ezra chapter 8, verse 1, reading from the New American Standard Version. Now, these are the heads of their fathers' households and the genealogical enrollment of those who went up with me from Babylon in the reign of King Artaxerxes. Of the sons of Phinehas, Gershom. Of the sons of Ithamar, Daniel. Of the sons of David, Hattush. Of the sons of Shechaniah, who was of the sons of Parosh, Zechariah, and with him 150 males who were in the genealogical list. Of the sons of Pahath-Moab, Elihonai, the son of Zerahiah, and 200 males with him. Of the sons of Zattu, Shechaniah, the son of Jahaziel, and 300 males with him. And of the sons of Adin, Ebed, the son of Jonathan, and 50 males with him. And of the sons of Elam, Jeshiah, the son of Athaliah, and 70 males with him. And of the sons of Shephatiah, Zebediah, the son of Michael, and 80 males with him. Of the sons of Joab, Obadiah, the son of Jehiel, and 218 males with him. And of the sons of Bani, Shelemith, the son of Josephiah, and 160 males with him. And of the sons of Bebai, Zechariah, the son of Bebai, and 28 males with him. And of the sons of Azgad, Johanan, the son of Hakatan, and 110 males with him. And of the sons of Adonikim, the last ones, these being their names, Eliphelet, Jewel, and Shemaiah, and 60 males with them. And of the sons of Bigvai, Uthai, and Zabud, and 70 males with them. Now I assembled them at the river that runs to Ahava, where we camped for 3 days. And when I observed the people and the priests, I did not find any Levites there. We get this list of people who went up with Ezra. These are heads of households. So with the women and the children, the total number is a lot more. Again, of course, these people stayed in Babylon when the first group of exiles went up to Jerusalem with Zerubbabel and Jeshua. And with this trip, there are surely many more who remained in Babylon. So we read all those names, and just imagine as they're camping for 3 days, Ezra is going through the crowd looking to see who is among them. And he says, I don't see any Levites. Ezra was specifically looking for them because he knows the law of Moses. He knows the Levites are the ones appointed to serve in the house of God. The decree of King Artaxerxes had said any of the people of Israel and the priests and the Levites who are willing to go to Jerusalem may go. Apparently the Levites said, thanks, but no thanks. Even with the first group that went with Zerubbabel, there weren't a whole lot of Levites among them. Ezra had all this favor from the king, silver and gold to provide for all they needed in the house of God, was even given authority to draw from the royal treasury as needed. But he didn't have the Levites needed for the service. Continuing, so I sent for Eleazar, Ariel, Shemaiah, Elnathan, Jerib, Elnathan, Nathan, Zechariah, and Meshullam, leading men, and for Joiarib and Elnathan, teachers. I sent them to Iddo, the leading man at the place Cassifiah, and I told them what to say to Iddo and his brothers, the temple servants at the place Cassifiah. That is, to bring ministers to us for the house of our God. According to the good hand of our God upon us, they brought us a man of insight of the sons of Mali, the son of Levi, the son of Israel, namely Sherebiah, and his sons and brothers, 18 men, and Hashabiah and Jeshiah of the sons of Merari with his brothers and their sons 20 men, and 220 of the temple servants whom David and the princes had given for the service of the Levites, all of them designated by name. Ezra is clearly a leader and he takes authority. Instead of bemoaning the fact that no Levites showed up, he says, oh, well, then we about to go get some. He sends a chosen group of leading men to Iddo, who is himself a leading man. And Ezra tells them what to say to Iddo and his brothers. These are temple servants, and Ezra says, bring us ministers for the house of God. And here it is again, the good hand of our God upon us. Because God's hand was upon them, they got the ministers they needed. Even one, Ezra says, is a man of insight. So remember, these are people who at first had decided that they weren't going. They weren't leaving life as they knew it in Babylon and taking the trip to Jerusalem. But whatever was said to them, they now understand the obligation. God had called them to this, and they're now going. Continuing verse 21, then I proclaimed a fast there at the river of Ahava, that we might humble ourselves before our God to seek from him a safe journey for us, our little ones, and all our possessions. For I was ashamed to request from the king troops and horsemen to protect us from the enemy on the way, because we had said to the king, the hand of our God is favorably disposed to all those who seek him, but his power and his anger are against all those who forsake him. So we fasted and sought our God concerning this matter, and he listened to our entreaty. This is so good. The king granted everything Ezra requested. So Ezra could have said, hey, we need troops to protect us along the way on this journey, and the king would have given them to him. But Ezra didn't want to take any glory away from his God. He didn't want the king to say, I thought you served a powerful God and his hand was upon you. He can't protect you on the journey. Ezra was a man of faith. He said, I'm going to trust God in this. And he calls for a fast. So they humble themselves and seek the Lord for a safe journey. And it says God listened to their entreaty. I'm thinking about how people who know us, family, co-workers, neighbors, friends, they know we profess to be Christians and we believe in the Lord, but then we say or do things that just don't line up with that. We are going through a difficult time and we're like, it's just all bad. This happened and that happened and there is just no hope. People close to us who aren't even believers will hear that and say, hold up, you're the one who's always talking about prayer. And I remember you said that one time, nothing is too hard for God. We have to be aware of our witness. There will be times when we're challenged and our faith is tested, but we have to remember the people around us who don't know the Lord. When we stand firm, walk by faith, pray without ceasing, that is salt and light for the people around us. It doesn't mean we can't acknowledge what we're going through, but we still have hope. We still have Jesus. When we share that hope, the Lord will use it to draw others to himself. Continuing verse 24, then I set apart 12 of the leading priests, Sherebiah, Hashabiah, and with them 10 of their brothers. And I weighed out to them the silver, the gold, and the utensils, the offering for the house of our God, which the king and his counselors and his princes and all Israel present there had offered. Thus I weighed into their hands 650 talents of silver and silver utensils worth 100 talents and 100 gold talents and 20 gold bowls worth 1,000 derricks and 2 utensils of fine shiny bronze, precious as gold. Then I said to them, you are holy to the Lord, and the utensils are holy, and the silver and the gold are a free will offering to the Lord God of your fathers. Watch and keep them until you weigh them before the leading priests, the Levites, and the heads of the fathers' households of Israel at Jerusalem, in the chambers of the house of the Lord. So the priests and the Levites accepted the weighed out silver and gold and the utensils to bring them to Jerusalem, to the house of our God. This is a lot of treasure that is being weighed out and given to the priests for the house of God. Great responsibility was entrusted to them. This reinforces their need to fast and pray for a safe journey, because with all of this silver and gold, they would be targets for thieves. Ezra makes sure they understand the weight of their calling. You are holy to the Lord, and the utensils are holy. And this silver and gold is not just any silver and gold. This is a free will offering to the Lord. The priests and Levites accept and take charge of what they are given. Continuing verse 31, then we journeyed from the river Ahava on the 12th of the first month to go to Jerusalem, and the hand of our God was over us, and he delivered us from the hand of the enemy and the ambushes by the way. That's our God. He is faithful. Ezra didn't ask the king for troops. He asked his God for protection. And he says the hand of our God was over us. God delivered them from the hand of the enemy. We need to pause at verses like that and take note of the power and faithfulness of our God. Continuing verse 32, thus we came to Jerusalem and remained there 3 days. On the 4th day, the silver and the gold and the utensils were weighed out in the house of our God into the hand of Meremoth, the son of Uriah the priest, and with him was Eleazar the son of Phinehas, and with them were the Levites, Jozabad the son of Jeshua, and Noadiah the son of Binnui. Everything was numbered and weighed, and all the weight was recorded at that time. We know from chapter 7 that it took 4 months to travel to Jerusalem. Their first order of business was to get these precious articles to the house of God. They weighed it all out, and it was properly accounted for among witnesses. Continuing verse 35, the exiles who had come from the captivity offered burnt offerings to the God of Israel. 12 bulls for all Israel, 96 rams, 77 lambs, 12 male goats for a sin offering, all as a burnt offering to the Lord. Then they delivered the king's edicts to the king's satraps and to the governors in the provinces beyond the river, and they supported the people and the house of God. Their next order of business was worship, offering burnt offerings to the Lord, including a sin offering. Then they delivered the king's edicts. It's an interesting order because we might think that Ezra and the others would first be concerned with making sure the governors and other officials knew the authority Ezra had been given by the king, as well as the other benefits the king had provided. But no, their first concern was God's business in the house of the Lord and in worship. This chapter teaches us so much about the faithfulness of God when we cling to him. Ezra is taking up this expedition back to Jerusalem. They are encamped, ready to go. And he's like, wait, what? There's not a single Levite here? That could have been very discouraging with respect to the mission. He might have even thought, Lord, really? You know we need Levites. You couldn't stir up their spirits to go? That's what he did in the first group. But Ezra did not despair. God had given him wisdom. King Artaxerxes had noted that. So he said, I'm going to cling, trust God, and use the wisdom God gave me. He sent them men, told them what to do, and said, bring us back ministers for the house of our God. And what did God do? He rewarded Ezra. It said, according to the good hand of the Lord upon us, they got the Levites they needed. He did the same with their travels, rewarded their seeking of him, their clinging to him, and delivered them from the hand of the enemy. Ezra is giving a masterclass in clinging. Trust the Lord. Use the wisdom he's given you. And we know if we need wisdom, we just have to ask, James says, and it will be given generously. We didn't see Ezra terrified about the journey, worrying about whether they would be ambushed. He said, we're going to fast and pray. And guess what? He then had a testimony because enemies did try to come for them, but God delivered them. Ezra knew the hand of God was upon them and he operated accordingly. If you are clinging to God, you better know the hand of God is upon you. Operate accordingly. Why do we never have a problem finding time to worry, fret, and fear? Let's be about taking time to pray, to fast when needed, to ask for wisdom and walk confidently in it. Praise the Lord for his powerful hand. May his good hand be upon you. Don't forget, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Meanwhile, keep clinging.